Here with Mandy Ginsberg, General Manager of Match.com. Mandy, tell us a little bit about what trends you're seeing in online dating during the recession.
So it's interesting. I think, for the last, people ask me all the time, what's the correlation between dating and the recession, and it's matching a growth due to the recession. The reality is, I think no matter what is happening in the recession, there is this unbelievable need that people want to be in a relationship and connect with other people, and it doesn't stop just because there's a recession. And in some ways I think that the recession's been a little bit of the wind at our backs, because dating can be expensive, especially when you go out all the time and pay for dates, especially for guys who generally pick up the tab. And Match is a pretty easy way to connect with people. It's roughly like $5 a week to be able to meet great, interesting people. And then the other thing that's really interesting is the consumption of content. So people are asking us constantly all the time things like, what's the most affordable city to date? What are great low budget ways to date? And so in terms of just consumption of data and interesting tidbits and facts about dating and dating trends, we get asked that from our consumers all the time. But I think in general, the business has fared really well. We're a publicly traded company, so the data exists externally, where you can see that the business has really grown and thrived this past year, even given the recession challenges that most businesses have faced.
So Match.com is a pretty sophisticated online marketer. Have you changed your marketing mix at all, and how do you view offline marketing as a part of the mix?
So offline marketing is an extremely important piece of the mix. It's one piece. We have very large budgets on the online side as well, but in terms of offline marketing, it's something that it drives top-of-mind awareness, it drives overall awareness in the industry, and I think that it is a critical piece. And most people that have heard of Match.com or seen our commercials in the last week have seen that we are pretty aggressive offline advertiser. So we have a good mix, and the growth really has been in online over the last few years, but on offline advertising, television advertising, radio continues to be a very key acquisition channel for us.
So as a data-driven marketer, do you ever find that you almost have too much data, that you're swimming in data?
For us, at the end of the day, we all come to work because we know that we're doing something fundamentally extremely important, which is connecting people, but it's all about the data. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about how many people on a daily basis mutually communicate and connect, send emails to each other, winks to each other, and then ultimately get offline and date. And then the holy grail is how many people come to the site every day and resign because they found someone on Match. So for us, it's all about the data, and it's not so much the data replacing the value that we're providing people, but understanding the metrics and the underlying data to make sure that we are making sure that people are connecting every single day and connecting online, so then they can get offline and connect in a more meaningful way.
So, a big trend we're seeing obviously is the rise of social media. Is this a threat to Match.com, or is this something that you guys can leverage?
So I think a couple things. So Facebook, for example, is a great acquisition channel for us, and it's probably one of our fastest growing acquisition channels. And people see advertisements, especially single people see advertisements all the time for looking for relationships with people and for online dating sites. But I think in general, social networks is a great way for people to connect and reconnect, but they connect to their relatives, their work friends, their girlfriends, their potential mates, and where I think that Match is very complementary to, for example, the Facebook phenomenon, where Facebook is so broad in terms of connecting to specific people from your past, from college days, but people still have an underlying need to want to connect to someone who's put their hand up and say, I want to be in a relationship. So I think that we don't see an imminent threat, and we'll always sort of look at the opportunities and see what's happening in the marketplace. But for now, I think it's a great additive where people who are looking to connect and matches that overlay of, if I'm connecting to all of these great relationships that I've had in the past, whether it be girlfriends or college roommates or soccer colleagues that I've had in the past, Match is really there exclusive for people who put their hand up and said, I want a great relationship, and I want to be able to connect with people who are looking for a relationship. And right now, that hasn't been replaced by social media.
Okay, thanks a lot.